Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking around. I really appreciate you. So today, we are doing a video that I have honestly been kind of hesitant about doing for a while because quite frankly, I still don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to this topic. I'm still very much flying by the seat of my pants, but I figured it's better than nothing and some lifting content can be really intimidating, so why not talk about it here? So today we're going to be talking about how I got into lifting weights when I did not know what the hell I was doing. And like I said, I'm still flying by the seat of my pants, still learning, still loving it, enjoying the learning process, but I thought this might give you some good pointers as to where to start as just taking it from what I did because it seems to be working. It seems to be working pretty well. I am by no means a certified personal trainer or anything of the sort. I am just a normal girl who lost weight, got dumped, and wanted to shift her focus and energy from losing weight to gaining muscle and getting stronger. And it is something that I have really, really loved doing since I started about a year ago-ish. And so I just wanted to make a video about it. So yeah, here we go. I want to get into like some of my numbers and stats before I start talking about what I did and how I got into lifting. Because honestly, a lot of the reason why I started lifting was to combat my body dysmorphia that I have from losing weight. Because I find having a log of my lifts and having numbers and undeniable data that show that I am making progress has helped me not care so much about what I see or don't see in the mirror and what I see on the scale. So that's my number one tip, first of all, is to log your lifts, your starting point, because it's so fun to go back and see how much progress you have made over time. And I use the Strong app to do that. It's free. I like it. It seems to work. So yeah. Or you can just use pencil and paper like a lot of people do. Also, another big tip that I have is take pictures. Take an obnoxious amount of pictures, because that is one thing I regret both from my weight loss journey and now my lifting journey, is that I did not take nearly enough before pictures or during pictures. I really wish I would have, so I had things to go back and look on, or things to look back on, but I did not do that, so yeah. Do that. Even if you don't like looking at them or you don't like the way you look in them, you will not regret having them. So, to get into some of my stats, lower body, for some reason, the deadlift was always and always has been the one lift that I have cared about making a lot of progress on. I don't know why. I don't know why I focused on that, but I did. So I started doing deadlifts at 60 pounds, and now my PR is 200 pounds for 2 reps. But I find myself typically doing more reps of 185 right now, because I just like how it gets my heart going a little bit more. I hate doing barbell squats, so I just don't do them, really. I do things that I actually enjoy doing, like the leg press and stuff like that, over doing barbell squats, because I am very much a person that if I'm bored by one of the exercises that's in my program, it will take so much more effort for me to go do the whole thing just because of that one exercise that I don't like or that bores me. So I just don't do barbell squats, and I do more things like leg presses, stuff like that. But when I did do barbell squats, because I did for a while, the highest I ever did was 115, but I started at 65, so I'll take it, you know. Also, I don't need your judgment on any of these numbers. I'm just sharing them to show that I have made progress. RDLs, Romanian deadlifts, another favorite of mine. I started doing at 50 pounds, meaning I had 25-pound dumbbells in each hand. And I started doing RDLs back in January, so I started at 50 pounds with 25-pound dumbbells. And at that point, I was able to do 3 sets of 12, but now I'm doing RDLs with a barbell at 115 pounds, doing 3 sets of 10. And it hurts. It makes my legs shake. But I've seen noticeable glute gains, so that's pretty cool. Hip thrusts, I started and I documented starting them back in October. I think I might have done them before that, but I didn't have like a set way of documenting my lifts at that point. So yeah. But I started doing them apparently back in October, and I was doing 3 sets of 15 at 85 pounds, and then I did 1 set of 15 at 105 pounds. I've since taken a pause on hip thrusts because I really wanted to start focusing on my deadlifts and RDLs and leg presses. But the last time I did them, I was able to do 2 sets of 10 at 225 pounds. So I was able to hip thrust myself, which is pretty cool. In terms of upper body, I've only really started focusing on upper body since February. So please don't judge me. I am very much still figuring it out in that category. Actually, I started focusing on upper body in January. So I'm going to start with when I started documenting that in January. I was doing upper body last year, but I really only started adding a full upper body day this year in January. Bicep curls, I was doing 3 sets of 8 with 15-pound dumbbells, and now I forgot to write this down, so let me go see what I'm doing. Hold on. So the last time I was doing 3 sets of 10 with 20-pound dumbbells. So not bad. They hurt still, but it feels good, so whatever. Bench press, I haven't benched in a really long time, to be completely honest with you. But I started with doing 3 sets of 10 with 20-pound dumbbells. And the last time I benched, I did 3 sets of 8 at 65 pounds with a barbell. I think it was on a Smith machine because that was all that was available. But yeah, that's what I did the last time. And I added a note here that says, I need to start benching again, LMAO. So I do need to start benching again. And I will probably add that into my program next for this week even. So shoulder presses, I started doing Arnold presses. And I did 3 sets of 8 with 15-pound dumbbells and managed to work my way up to 3 sets of 15 with 15-pound dumbbells. But then I moved to overhead presses on the Smith machine. And the last time I did that, I did 3 sets of 5 at 65 pounds. And that absolutely maxed me out. I was like struggling to get the thing up. But now I've actually moved on to doing strict military presses because I really like doing them, and I'm honestly have seen the most development like in my shoulder area since I started doing these. So I like doing them. And I started doing those with 2 sets of 6 with just the bar, so 45 pounds. And that was mainly just like tacked on to the end of a normal arm day for me at that point because I just wanted to see if I could do it, and I could. So that was really exciting. But now I do 3 sets of 10 with just the bar at 45 pounds. And I added a note here saying that I know I could probably go up weight, but when it comes to me like pressing things over my head, I get really nervous because I do work out alone. And so I get nervous to like go up weight. But I think if I did it slowly, like adding like the little like marshmallow weights at the end with like the 2.5 pounds, I think I could do that. So I'll probably try that next time I go to the gym and do arms because I know I can go up weight. Like I know I can. It's just scary for me when it comes to like pressing things over my noggin. So those are my numbers. I just thought that would be interesting to share to show that I have indeed made progress. Little progress is still progress in my opinion, and that's something to always remember when it comes to lifting. So I'm going to go into how I started now. I started lifting because, like I said, I had gotten dumped and I really needed something to channel my energy into. And I was like, Megan, you've always wanted to start lifting. You've always wanted to build strength. So like, why not try that? And so I asked my friend Brock, check out his podcast, where to even start because I'd lifted weights like casually, like working out, but it was never like I wanted to do it, like with like making progress, progressive overload, all that stuff. I'd never done that before. And so I asked him where to start when I actually entered into like a real gym, because up until that point I had only been using my apartment's gym. And he's also had weight loss surgery and has been lifting for way longer than I have. So I figured he was a great person to ask. Quite honestly, he let me borrow his Greg Doucette lifting book. And I really only used 1 page out of that book, which was a full body lifting program. I started that from that page, which was a full body program, I started my first day in the gym. I started off really low, like, because I didn't want to hurt myself right away. And so from that point, I always made sure I was adding like 5 to 10 pounds each time I went back. And when I started doing deadlifts and stuff, I actually started doing those with like the easy barbells that they have, because quite frankly, the squat rack freaked me out. And when I maxed those out, which I think was around like 110 pounds, I think was the heaviest one they have at my gym, I actually went in the morning because it's a lot less busy in the morning. And honestly, I love lifting in the morning because the atmosphere is less like ooga booga and more just like old people trying their best. And I love that. I feel so comfortable. So I went in the morning and I tried using the squat rack for the first time because I had to, because I needed to put more weight on it. And that worked for me, and I got way more comfortable using the squat rack as time went on. So I would recommend going when you know it's like slower or whatever, when you do have to make that jump or you want to make that jump to the squat rack. So my long deadlift goal when I started was to be able to do 135. And I got there and it was a big moment. And 135 is when you have two 45-pound plates on the 45-pound bar, which the plates usually max out at 45 pounds. So it's like two big boy plates on the bar. Big deal. So I was very excited to be able to do that. And when I did do that, I sent a video of it to my dad, because my dad also has experience lifting. And I sent it to Brock, and they gave me form pointers and stuff, and I went back and I did it correctly. And I've actually gotten form pointers from people on my Instagram, which I honestly really appreciate. And I wish I would have looked into more nitpicky form things, because I had a general idea, because I'd worked with trainers multiple times throughout my life and all that kind of stuff. And so I had a general idea of like what proper form was for lifting, and just from talking to my dad about it and whatever. But like, I wish I would have looked into the more like nitpicky parts of form sooner. Some of my favorite people that I go to for form things are all on TikTok, and I usually do TikTok because it's usually while I'm in the gym and I need like a quick explanation while I'm there. And so like a few of my favorite people for that are JPG Coaching on TikTok, Marissa Arnon, who I actually did an interview with on her YouTube channel, so go check that out. I will have that linked below. And then Red 5 Performance, and they're all on TikTok. I love them all. They've all helped me so much with form, proper warm-ups, proper and anything. Like, I love them all for those kinds of resources. So I really recommend going there first before you start any lifting. And so the reason I only just started doing like a full upper body day this year is because I was after doing the full body circuit for, I want to say like 6 months, like it was a while. I started noticing myself getting more and more fatigued, not being able to complete the full program. And I think it was because I kept going up weight or reps and progressively overloading, which you should do. But I was finding that was making me feel super fatigued to the point where like I couldn't finish my program for the day. And so that's when I started to make the split of differentiating between lower body, upper body, and whatever. And splitting my days up allowed me to go up weight more often and see more progress that way. So that's why I started doing that. 4 things I wish I did not do or I did sooner. Number 1 is started in a real gym sooner. So like I still only go to like a 24-hour fitness, but I wish I would have started in that environment sooner, because I found being in that kind of environment motivated me to want to make more progress. And you have so many more options. So like if something's not open or whatever, like you can go do something else that will give you that will work similar muscle groups. Number 2 is I wish I invested in an actual pair of lifting shoes. I know Converse are hyped up by everybody, and and everybody thinks they're great. Some people lift in their bare feet, and honestly, whatever works for you works for you. But I found when I started lifting heavier, the Converse really started making my hips hurt and my knees hurt. And so I eventually invested in a pair of Nike Metcon 7s, and they were a bitch to break in. Like, they made my feet kind of go numb the first couple times I used them in the gym. But after that, they are so comfortable, and they're great for cardio too because they're cross-training shoes. So I really recommend those. They work really well for me. And just be skeptical of Converse. You know, try them. If you like them and you continue to like them, that's great. They're way cheaper. But be skeptical of Converse because I've heard of a lot of people having more issues with them than you initially hear of when you start lifting. Number 3 is I wish I would have started post-lift stretching sooner. So like especially when I started going up weights, I started noticing how tight my hips felt and how tight just like my whole body felt. And so I started incorporating like 15-20 minutes of stretching after a workout. And I do like some warm-ups just to get the muscles moving, but not a whole lot before I start lifting. But after is where I really take time and care towards stretching and all of that. And it feels so good to stretch a warm muscle. And I did actually notice that it made my progress increase as well over time after I started stretching after lifting, because your muscles just aren't as like tight and cramped as they would be if you didn't stretch after. So I wish I would have started that sooner. And number 3 is I wish I did not let my new, more active lifestyle affect my diet habits. So I think since I was more active than I had been in a very long time, I was also way hungrier all the time than I used to be. And so while I could have reaped the rewards of eating in a correct calorie deficit for me and exercising more, I just ate more. And I think I let kind of like the lifestyle creep affect me. A lot of people talk about lifestyle creep when it comes to money, but I do think it happens when you're being more active as well, because a lot of times I would think of it as, oh, like, I'm working out all the time, like I'm going to the gym like 3 to 5 days a week, like, or 3 to 4 days a week, like I can eat this thing, you know, and which is true in moderation. And I think I just was not implementing moderation as much as I thought I was. And I really regret doing that because I did gain weight, but I know some of that is newbie gains and muscle, but I also know some of it is from me not eating properly for like the beginning of my lifting journey. So definitely if you're wanting to like lose weight, be mindful of that, but also honestly just be mindful of that too, because you might gain unwanted weight that isn't muscle. You might gain fat, which usually when somebody starts lifting, that's not the goal. So yeah, those are like the 4 things I wish I would have done differently, or I just wish I didn't do in general. But that's all I have to say for this video. I hope this helped you like find a starting point. I definitely recommend starting with like a full body program and splitting as necessary from there, just so you get into the gym, figure out what you like, what you don't like, what you like want to work on, blah, blah, blah. If you have any questions, definitely ask them down below in the comments, and I or some of my like subscribers who are way more well-versed in lifting than I am will probably be there to help you. I hope this motivates you to get into the gym and not be scared. This has made me feel way more motivated about lifting, and I'm really excited for this week. And I hope you just enjoyed this video. It was really fun to talk about this because lifting has helped me so much mentally and physically. And yeah, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, drink your water, take your meds. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.